Hi everyone, welcome to my first video on this YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be going into some of my art fight attacks I've done so far, and this is my first year, so I was a little nervous, but I think I've done okay so far. If you've never heard of art fight before, it's basically an epic month-long art battle where artists all over the world create art for each other's OCs. You attack by drawing someone's OC, and they can attack back or revenge by drawing yours. It's all about fun, art, and community. This year, I'm fighting for team, drumroll please, Crystal. I'm going to be showing you 2 of the attacks I've done so far, so grab your sketchbook, tablets, and favorite snacks because we're just getting started. I did my usual thing where I just color in the base color and then clip all the other layers, but then this is where I started to struggle. So I tried a new shading technique because I feel like my shading usually look really dull, but I feel like this just didn't work, and I don't know color theory that well yet, so like it kind of just looked splotchy, as you can see here. I kept telling myself to just trust the process and that it would get better. Spoiler alert, it did not. It just looked horrible, so I had to restart, and I really just didn't want this to go to waste, so I just lowered the opacity to like 10% so that it was still there, but like barely. We're gonna go ahead and speed through this part because I was basically just playing with the colors even though I knew it was not turning out good. At this point, I had to bring out the big guns, which was Pinterest, and I was like looking for new shading techniques. And spoiler alert, again, this also did not turn out good. As you can see, it's just like really bright, and like I want it to be bright, but I can't figure out how to make it balanced. So I decided a good idea was to just add my normal shading technique on top of this, which also turned out really bad. I don't know what I was doing. I was just really trying to make this work, and it just was not working. So honestly, all I did was lower the opacity like really low, and I feel like it turned out okay. I'm not completely happy with the shading, but I think it's okay for now. Switching it up to a speed paint since I'm kind of just coloring and it's boring, but I have not talked about the character yet, so I'm going to get more into her details. So this is Pinky Malinky by Long Live Chocolate, and she's 16 to 18. She's very trendy, and she's bratty and most popular girl in high school. She said that she's like Regina George, and her backstory is the hottest guy in school doesn't like her because she's horrible and he's nice, so she simultaneously hates him for not loving her back and loves him at the same time. I don't know if you can tell, but her favorite color is pink. So I found this picture on Pinterest, as you can see in the top right corner, and I kind of just went based off of that. Moving on to the background, I don't know if you can tell, but I really suck at making backgrounds, so I was kind of just playing around with stuff, but it came out actually pretty good. Moving on to the next character, my footage of the sketch, which happens both times, it got corrupted. I don't know what happened, so I don't have any photo of the sketch, but I do have the actual shading and stuff, so. Since me coloring is very boring, I'm just going to talk about the details of the character. Plays violin, was a prodigy in violin, is in orchestra, is INFJ, is pansexual, and loves music. At first, I was going to try and draw her playing a violin. Yeah, no, that did not work. I can't do that, so I just settled for a basic pose. Once again, I was struggling with shading, so I had to pull out Pinterest again. I think it's funny how I said how to shade face. I was actually about to quit, like, I could not. I kept on saying, just trust the process. But the process was being really hard to trust. So as you can tell, I was trying to redeem myself for some reason and try out the same shading technique I did last time. That failed me. Spoiler alert, for the 3rd time, it failed me again. So obviously it didn't work, and this time instead of lowering the opacity, I just completely restarted and went with my normal shading technique. Now the reason I kind of joined Art Fight in the first place was so that I would have content for YouTube but be able to try out different things at the same time. So that's why I was kind of even trying a different shading technique in the first place. but it obviously wasn't working. So I kept going with what I usually do, and by the time I finished, I was like, wow, the shading is like really dull. So like I obviously need to figure out how to make it better without like completely making it smudgy or like really bright, because I feel like I made her look like really lifeless for some reason. Like she looks like she's been starved for 100 years or something. I don't have the sketch, but like the mouth was giving me so many issues. I just could not make it look good. It was like haunting me. I looked at this and I flipped it and I was like, she just looks lifeless. So I tried to add some lighting into the eyes and I hoped it looked good. I feel like it helped a little bit. But I feel like the creator of the original character said that usually she's really shy, and I feel like I did not portray that in how I was drawing her. Something else I obviously need to get better at is shading the hair. Like, I don't know. Like, it doesn't look bad. I just want it to look better than how it looks already. It looks basic to me, so I'm trying to find different techniques to do that. I shaded the clothes differently than how I did on the last character, but I feel like it turned out okay. I was kind of like just putting random colors down, hoping it would look good. It looked okay. It kind of looked like this place, like it didn't make sense of how I was doing it, but in the end, I feel like it turned out okay. Since we are nearing the end of this video, I would really appreciate it if you subscribed and liked, and also dropped a comment, for example, what your artfight user is, because I'm looking for more people to attack. So for the background, I basically did the same thing I did for the other one, and it turned out okay. I feel like my opinion on this whole art piece is like, meh, it's okay. But here's the finished project. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry if the editing is wonky because this is my first time, but please come back for more. Thank you.